Welcome back to Danis Podcast, folks. Today, we're taking a deep dive into one of the oldest and most complex religions in the world, Hinduism. Now, Hinduism isn't just a religion, it's more like a way of life. It's got over 1 billion followers worldwide, mostly in India and Nepal, but its influence stretches across the globe. So, if you've ever been curious about Hinduism, what it believes, and how it affects the lives of its followers, this episode is for you. Let's start with the basics. What is Hinduism? Hinduism is the world's oldest major religion, with roots going back over 4,000 years. It doesn't have a single founder, a central prophet, or a single holy book. Instead, it's a vast collection of beliefs, practices, and philosophies that have evolved over millennia. And what makes it unique is that it's not just a set of religious beliefs, it's a complete way of life that influences everything from ethics and family life to art and philosophy. Core beliefs. One of the fundamental concepts in Hinduism is the belief in Brahman, the ultimate, unchanging reality, which is formless and transcendent. Brahman is everything and everywhere. Think of it as the source of all life, the universe, and everything in it. It's kind of like saying, everything that exists is part of a single energy. Now, Hindus believe that individual souls, or Atman, are also connected to Brahman. The goal is to realize this connection and eventually achieve moksha, which is liberation from the cycle of samsara, the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Imagine being stuck in a loop, where every time you die, you come back as something else, until you break free and achieve eternal peace and unity with Brahman. Reincarnation and karma. This idea of samsara leads us into two key ideas in Hinduism, reincarnation and karma. Reincarnation is the belief that after you die, your soul is reborn into a new body. The life you're born into depends on your karma, which is the sum total of your actions in past lives. If you did good things, you might come back as something higher, like a human or even a wealthy person. If you did bad things, you might come back as an animal or in a more challenging situation. Essentially, your actions from one life shape your next life. This ties into dharma, which is another key concept. Dharma means living according to your duties, being a good person, and fulfilling your role in the world. Your dharma can change based on your age, occupation, and stage of life. There's a whole system of varnas castes that plays into this, but today, many Hindus focus on dharma as more about ethical behavior and living in harmony with the world around them. The gods and goddesses. Hinduism is often thought of as a polytheistic religion, which means it has many gods and goddesses. But it's also more complex than that. The main god in Hinduism is Brahma, the creator of the universe. However, you'll hear a lot about three major gods that represent different aspects of the universe. Vishnu, the preserver, who keeps everything running smoothly in the universe. Shiva, the destroyer, who brings about change and transformation by destroying the old and making way for the new. Devi, the goddess, who comes in many forms, including Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, and Durga, the goddess of power and protection. But here's the twist. While there are many gods and goddesses in Hinduism, they're all seen as different aspects of the same ultimate reality, Brahman. It's like looking at the same thing through different lenses. Each god represents a different characteristic or function of the universe. Sacred texts. There are several important texts in Hinduism, but the two most famous are the Vedas and the Upanishads. The Vedas are the oldest Hindu scriptures, filled with hymns, prayers, and rituals, and they guide Hindus in their worship and sacrifices. The Upanishads are more philosophical texts that explore the nature of reality, the soul, and the universe. Another key text is the Bhagavad Gita, which is part of the Mahabharata, one of India's two great epics. The Bhagavad Gita is a conversation between the warrior Arjuna and Lord Krishna, who's an incarnation of Vishnu. In it, Krishna teaches Arjuna about dharma, selflessness, and the paths to liberation. Hindu practices. Hindu worship can take many forms, but the most common is puja, which is a ritual offering to the gods. Puja can be done at home, in temples, or even in public festivals. People might light incense, offer flowers, or chant prayers to honor the gods and seek blessings. Many Hindus also observe festivals like Diwali, the festival of lights, Holi, the festival of colors, and Navaratri, a festival celebrating the goddess Durga. Modern Hinduism. While Hinduism is ancient, it's not stuck in the past. Hindus today adapt their beliefs to the modern world, blending tradition with contemporary life. Whether it's meditation, yoga, or modern celebrations, Hinduism has influenced all sorts of things, from mental wellness to global pop culture. To wrap things up, Hinduism is a deeply spiritual, diverse, and vibrant religion that's not just about worshipping gods, but about understanding the nature of the universe, the self, and our place in it. Whether it's through reincarnation, meditation, or simply living a good life, Hinduism offers a framework for finding peace and meaning in this world and the next. Thanks for listening to this episode of Danis Podcast. Hopefully, you've learned a bit more about Hinduism today. It's one of those religions that's rich in history and full of wisdom, and it definitely has something to offer anyone interested in spirituality or understanding the world's religions. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and we'll see you next time for more fascinating